guys. It's good to be back on stage again.
It's the music that makes you bang your head.
I need to listen to Metallica when I wake up.
The stuff you listen to that makes people look at you differently.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Turn it up.
You're having a great night of metal every night.
This is Distortion on Triple M.
Yes, welcome once again to your home of hard rock and metal on Triple M, right around the globe, wherever you might be listening. Thank you very much for joining us on a very special night. Soundwave, when it blew through town, about a month ago, it was just an amazing time. I got to catch up with so many great bands, a lot of which you've heard on the show already. But I don't know how this happened, but we managed to talk Corey Taylor into co-hosting a show with me. And you are going to hear that tonight, uncut, unedited, as it happened. Let's get into it. Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour, welcome to Distortion.
Yes, it feels good. It's very distorted around here right now. I like it.
This is all about you tonight. You're going to choose the songs that we're going to play. You're going to tell me why you love them and why we should play them.
All right.
And we should definitely include, if you want to, get a little bit self-indulgent, let's include some of your tracks too.
Oh, well, I mean, come on. Is it my birthday?
Well,
do I get to?
Well, we're getting you a coffee, but that's
Trust me, man. I'd much prefer to play other people's music than anybody else than my own, man, to be honest.
How have you enjoyed Australia so far? I've got to ask the simple questions first.
Of course, I love it. I love it here. I've always loved it here, man. You know, I mean, this was the country I'd always wanted to come to, you know, like my whole life.
Why was that?
I don't know, man. I just... You know, you see stuff on TV or you see it in movies and whatnot, and, you know, like Mad Max. Mm-hmm. You know, it was just like, wow, that place looks gnarly. But then you see it in, like, other movies and whatnot. I've always felt drawn to this place, you know. So when we came down here, and it must have been 2000, I think it was February 2000, somewhere in there, I was just blown away, you know. Like I remember running out of the airport in Brisbane and just laying down on the ground and just staring up. It was the biggest sky I'd ever seen in my life, you know.
Yeah.
So I've always, you know, really tried to make it a point to get back here as much as possible.
Have you got a favorite spot that you like?
No, I mean I'm kind of partial to everything, you know. I mean whether it's Perth or Adelaide or Melbourne, I mean, like just all the major cities. I'd love to see more, you know, obviously. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of love the whole country.
Are you able to kind of get out in public and do your own thing? Do people kind of stop you these days?
Yes and no. You know, I mean, it's pretty far, like few and far between. But for the most part, I can get out and kind of wander around like a proper tourist. And
I was going to say, you kind of fit in, you know, the way you look.
Well, I've got my shorts on.
Yeah.
I've got my... you know, my not incredibly suggestive V-neck T-shirt on.
No,
you know,
right,
like
yeah.
so I'm not knocking the ladies dead or anything like that. But you know, it's get a, you know, like in Sydney, my wife and I and my cousin actually who flew down to kind of have a vacation. We walked around the harbor and walked down to the Opera House and everything, and then just kind of did our own thing. And yeah, nobody bothered me at all, which was, you know, it was pretty novel.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I kind of enjoy that.
Yeah, nice. All right, let's get cracking into some songs here. What do you want to start with?
I don't know. What we got? I mean,
you can play whatever you want.
I mean, are we talking decades? Are we talking genres? Are we talking... I mean, how weird do we want to get?
It's a hard rock and metal show.
Okay, it's a hard rock and metal show.
Yeah.
So no Bee Gees is what you're saying.
You're pretty
no Bee
much,
Gees?
unless they're being covered by Slayer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't have that copy on me, to be honest. So
neither do I.
I mean, I didn't bring it on. I mean, I wore different shorts today, so I usually have.
Yeah, in the other ones.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, let's get weird. You know, I would love to hear some Judas Priest right now. If that would be.
That's
cool.
not really weird, though, is it?
No.
How
Well.
old?
It is, but it isn't.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like, I mean, because everybody's like, oh, he's going to play, like, current stuff. I really kind of hate current stuff, to be honest.
All right, let's go retro.
Yeah, let's do, can we do Delivering to the Goods?
Of course we can.
Yes.
All
Great
right.
tune.
Corey Taylor, special guest, co-host and Distortion on Triple M.
Done.
First song down, man. Judas Priest, Delivering the Goods. It's Distortion on Triple M with Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour. He is choosing the tunes tonight. Your minders here want to hear what's going on because they can't hear it. So I'm going to... Just give me a second. I'll go out.
All right, then.
So I can hear what's going on.
Okay. Oh, God. I thought that miserable son of a bitch would never leave. I swear to God, I've been waiting for him to leave the room this whole goddamn time, and now Oh, finally got the studio to myself. That son of a bitch isn't coming back in here. I got to lock the door. Where's the lock? Oh, you can see me. I apologize. I have my frothy coffee. We're going to talk about this a lot. Yeah, I can't be left to my own devices in radio stations.
Touch things.
I do touch things.
You're gonna have a go at the AC/DC.
I did a particularly painful interview in I want to say it was one of the Carolinas a long time ago, and it was just real D-level stuff, right? So this guy had to be an intern or something. He left the room, and I went around and behind his console, and they were giving away Coldplay tickets, and it was like right on the screen, right? And I changed it. It said, win tickets to see Coldplay live, at blah 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 blah. And I changed it to win tickets to see Coldplay suck live, like. I got in a lot of trouble for that. And then I left it. I didn't change it back. So I know the dude read it like Ron Burgundy, not really being able to, oh, good Lord. Hopefully he got fired. I'm that guy.
You're that guy, ruining careers.
I'm that guy, yeah.
All right, well, I'll keep an eye on you then. You've been well behaved so far, so it's not too bad.
Well, you just mind your P's and Q's.
All right, I'll do that.
Right,
or maybe the coffee will pick you up and then things will start
I'm
flying
hoping.
around.
It's properly frothy. I'm loving it. I haven't seen a head like this like the last time I had Guinness. Let's put it that way. It's serious.
Well, it was made,
yeah.
made with love.
Yeah, well, it's good for you.
What else can I ask you about? You know what? I should really ask you more about House and Gold of Golden Bones, part 1 and 2.
Yes.
A friend of mine said no one's really asking you the basic question of a synopsis. Like, what is the fundamental of the whole story?
Once you get past kind of like the science fiction and the fantasy and everything in it, it's essentially about choices, It's about making decisions and standing by them, really, at the end of the day. And it's, that's why the characters are kind of archetypal, but at the same time, they're very, they're ambiguous, I wanted to make a statement about the fact that a lot of people refuse to kind of, have that kind of courage and confidence to make decisions in their lives and then carry on, like they get stuck in a period in their life, and then they refuse to go anywhere further with that, so you get a lot of people who are in their 40s and 50s acting like they're 25-year-olds and really not kind of getting on with it, or contributing anything positively to life or at all, So this is kind of about a character who might be in danger of doing that, and yet he kind of finds himself in this crazy world where he's really kind of, set on this journey to figure things out. And it was a lot of fun to write.
Yeah, it seems like it. And we were talking in Brisbane at Soundwave about it, and you were just so excited when you got to play the entire thing to people.
Yeah,
and watch their heads blow back a little bit.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome, man. I was the great thing is that we've been waiting so long. It's been a year ago now that we recorded everything. And it's finally coming out. And I can't wait to see people's reactions to what's going to happen. It's going to be great.
It's heavier, it's dirtier, it's grittier than the first one. And we'll get to that a little bit later on, but we need to pick some more songs here. What's another one you want to play tonight?
Ooh, okay. You know what? I got to play it just because it's been stuck in my head for 5 damn days, and I don't know why, because I haven't listened to it in probably 15 years. We got to play Iron Maiden from Here to Eternity.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know. We got to play it.
Maybe that'll get it out. Exercise the demons.
I can only hope.
Corey Taylor's our special guest, co-hosting Distortion. This is Iron Maiden on Triple M. Iron Maiden from Here to Eternity on Distortion with Corey Taylor choosing the tunes tonight. Simple question, mate. Have you been able to catch any other bands while you've been in Australia?
I got to see one band, and it was Metallica.
Not a band.
If you're going to catch a band, that's the band to catch, right?
Yeah.
I caught them in Sydney, And it was weird, because they had some technical issues, and they couldn't go on for 30 minutes because it was something going on with the screens and whatnot, and they kind of had to reboot the system, and the audience was getting a little cheeky, a little rough, and then they went on, and they came out firing, man. Like they opened with Hit the Lights and went right into Master of Puppets, and I was just like, oh, it's on tonight. They played Harvester of Sorrow, which I haven't heard them play live in years, man, and I've seen them a lot of times. So I was really stoked, and as a fan, I love the fact that they change the setup every night.
They do,
and they really, really do, and they've got years of songs that they can get through, but it seems like even though they change the setup, they always give you exactly what you want, and I just, that's why they're one of my favorite bands.
Well, it was 18 songs they did in Sydney, and I think 13 out of those 18 were songs before the Black Album.
Yeah. Which is crazy, right?
That's like a greatest hits of what people want to hear.
Exactly.
Exactly like
totally.
you said. Is there something from them you want to hear?
That's a great question.
You've actually got to mentally picture the albums in your head.
I'm seeing so many albums right now. You have no idea.
Do we go as far back as?
You know what though? You know what? I want to play something off Death Magnetic. To be honest.
Yeah.
I would love to hear Broken, Beaten, Scarred because I just love that song.
They played it in Brisbane.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
All right, let's get that one on from Metallica. Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour, special guest here on Distortion. Metallica, Broken, Beaten, Scarred on Distortion here at Triple M with Corey Taylor, the special guest tonight, choosing all the tunes. You mentioned earlier on about getting into a bit of mischief in a radio studio.
Oh, yeah.
Has there been those moments as part of Slipknot where things have gone a little bit too far?
What do you mean?
Well, what can you tell me without fully incriminating yourself? Has there been those stories where you go,
you know what?
Ooh.
Let me tell you about the first time we came down here.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was rough, man. Like, it was a crazy week and a half of playing shows and doing in-stores. And I mean, there were riots. I mean, it was gnarly. And we had no money. Okay. So we're basically staying in hostels all over, all over Australia. And I want to say it was in Adelaide, but it very may well have been in Melbourne.
Okay.
It might have been here. We had a gig, and I invited probably about 30 fans back to my hotel room because it was one of those rare nights where I actually had my own room.
Yeah.
And I mean, we went through my minibar, we went through Clown's minibar. We went through Mick's minibar. we went through my tour manager's minibar. And this is dating me because I haven't drank in years, but I mean, we got properly pissed. And it was, the end of the night was me and probably about 15 fans out on the ledge, out of the window. All right, we're probably about 4 stories up, maybe 3 or 4 stories up, and we're just, giving it properly large. And my tour manager comes running in. It's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, what? He's like, okay, you're on the ledge. Okay, and there was just enough space for 2 of us to kind of stand comfortably next to each other. Now imagine that and extrapolate that all the way down the side of the building, man. And I mean, it's 2 a.m, ripped. And he's just like, you're going to get someone killed. And I'm like, no, we need more beer. We need more beer. And so he's pulling us in. And yeah, it was gnarly. I woke up outside that day. It was
That's always
really
a good night.
crazy.
Yeah, when you wake up outside.
Kids, don't invite 30 fans back to your room and then wake up outside. Okay? Listen to Uncle Corey on this one.
What's another song we can play?
Oh man. You know what would be great? Song off of Def Leppard's first album.
Sure.
Wasted.
Yeah.
Just because of that story. Yeah. And it's like one of my favorite Def Leppard songs.
I love what you're doing here.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm laying down the sax now. Ow!
Corey Taylor, he's picking the songs here tonight. It's Distortion on Triple M. Yeah, thanks very much for joining us on a special night when Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour decided to co-host the show with me. It's awesome. I'm stoked. Hope you're enjoying it too. I like the stories, and no doubt you'd have a few now because you guys have been around for a very long time, both Stone Sour and Slipknot. Have you had those disastrous tours when you were just starting? Do you remember your very first Slipknot show?
Yes, I do. I remember the very first show that I played. Well, actually, I remember both. I remember the very first Slipknot show, and I wasn't even in the band. But I was front, like right in front of the stage. I watched the entire show, and I was just blown away by them. And I just, for some reason, there was just, because you got to know, I knew all these guys, you know? So to see them doing something like this, I was mesmerized. And something in my head just said, one of these days, I'm going to be in this band. I'm going to sing in this band. And about a year later, they asked me. I mean, it was crazy. It was almost a year to the day.
So how did that actually happen? What was the conversation where they said to you, you need to be a part of this?
I was working in the porn shop.
Of course you were.
Yeah. I mean, because I worked at a porn shop for about 3.5 years. And it was where I got all my work done. It was where I got all my songwriting done. Like, I mean, I work midnight to 8.
Yeah.
And I would just write songs all night, basically, and sling smut, basically. Yep. So one night, it was about 2 a.m. I just cleared out the token booths and the preview rooms, which I'll talk to you about later.
Okay.
So all the freaks were out. But in walks Clown, Mick, Joey was there, and I think Craig was there. There was 4 of them. And they come walking in, and I waved at because I never saw them out and about. You know, like I only saw them at gigs and whatnot. So they come walking in, and they did a whole. Now there's much myth about this moment. Okay, that Clown and everybody has put out there. Let me just burst that bubble, because the way he put it was that he came marching up and said, "You're going to join our band, or we're going to kick your ass." Right. That could not be further from the truth. They looked so nervous coming into my store to talk to me. Yeah. Right? They did a whole circuit of the store first. Like looking at, that's an interesting, look at that thing.
Yeah,
you know, there's the fist, there's the hand, there's, what the hell is that?
And it was, you just did the duck face.
Yeah. That's the hand. Yeah.
I
mean, it's about 8 pounds of rubber that no one wants anything to do with. I'm sure Riot Gear is based off of that technology.
So. Billy clubs.
So they come walking around. They finally make their way up to the counter, and I'm watching them the whole time, right? And they come up and they're like, "So how you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I'm here. It's 3 a.m. I've had 3 pots of coffee. I'm losing my mind right now." And they're like, "You know what? We're not going to beat around the bush. We're just going to ask you. You know, we're just going to let you know we want you to join the band and blah 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 blah." And we talked about it for a while, you know, and like I was just blown away. I was like, wow, you know, I mean, I'd never been a part of something like that before, you know. So my first show, which was literally a month from the moment they asked, my first show with them was chaos. I mean, it was the hottest day of the summer in Iowa, which anyone who's been to the Midwest knows that it's excruciating. I am melting on that stage, but it was amazing. I mean, it was so good, you know, like I just knew that there was something here and there was a lot that we could explore, and I mean, the rest is history. Yeah Man, well, cheers to that. Absolutely.
All right, let's play a song. Let's get something on from Slipknot.
Yeah
Oh, okay. You don't want to?
No, we can. I just, you know,
hey,
dude,
nice,
you know me.
Segue.
You know me. I hate playing my own.
All right,
music. No, we'll do it.
Those
we'll do
bands.
it. You know what? No, screw that. We'll do Before I Forget.
Okay.
Because that's a good jumper.
All right, let's get into it. Corey Taylor's a special guest programmer here on Distortion on Triple M. Well, that ends abruptly. Slipknot, Before I Forget. Distortion on Triple M special co-host is Corey Taylor from that very band, and also Stone Sour. All right, now I've asked you about a lot of things so far, but I want to ask you about that first moment where you decided that you wanted to be a musician, a songwriter.
Yeah.
Who was the band? What was that sound where you went, oh?
That's a great question. I mean, for me, it was a lot of different moments kind of building up into one weirdness, you know. I was really young when I realized that I could sing. I was still really young when I realized that I had a talent for music and whatnot. But I'd never really put it all together, you know. Honestly, it was seeing Motley Crue on MTV where I was just like, wow, this is awesome. You know, I saw them, they were playing Looks to Kill, you know, the video for Looks to Kill.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is badass, man. These guys are gnarly. That made me like a hard rock heavy metal fan, you know, like, and I really started to kind of explore my own music around that time. But I didn't really start teaching myself how to play until I was about 12 or 13, you know, and the reason I started teaching myself is because I wanted to write songs, you know. So there wasn't like a polarizing moment where this is what I wanted to do. It was a bunch of different kind of like cutting your teeth moments, you know, because I mean, essentially Stone Sour was the first real band I ever started. It was the first time I'd played live, like done a really live show instead of just jumping up with people and doing stuff, which I'd been doing for years. But it was the first time I did a show. It was the first time I was playing my own music for people. And, you know, I mean, that in itself, I mean, everything had kind of been, you know, building towards that moment, and I sucked at it. Like, I was so bad. Like, I really was.
Yeah.
Like, because not only was I singing, I was playing lead guitar as well. So I was, like, so worried about what I was doing on guitar. I was forgetting that it was like, oh, I got to sing here, you know? So it was really bad. But then we kind of dismantled that version, formed a different version where we had two guitar players, and I was just the singer, and something just clicked, and I knew that this was what I was meant to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's play another song.
All right. Let's do Walk All Over You by AC/DC.
Oh, nice.
Good jam. That's
Cool.
like one of the top 10 best rock songs ever written.
Corey Taylor's picking the tunes here in Distortions,
Damn
Triple
right.
M.
I'm gonna walk all over you.
AC/DC, Walk All Over You. This is Distortion on Triple M with Higgo, and the guest sitting opposite me is Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour, and he is responsible for everything that you're hearing tonight, tunes-wise. Staying with influences and stuff, you said that Motley Crue was, you know, one of those bands where you became a hard rock heavy metal fan.
Absolutely, yeah.
What's a band that people wouldn't expect from Corey Taylor?
That's a good question. 'Cause I pretty much, like, I have no shame, you know, like in my personality and the things that I do. And honestly, in my taste in music, like everybody asks me what my guilty pleasure is.
Oh, it's not guilty
I
if you
have
like
none.
it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
like, I mean, if you get pleasure for something that you feel guilty about, it's probably illegal, you know? Like,
It's probably going back to that duck.
well, yeah,
the duck face
exactly.
hand that you're
You've probably
talking
got a pink card and you can't live near schools or anything like that. No, man. I mean, I love everything from, you know, I'm obviously a huge Green Day fan. Like, I grew up listening to punk. I grew up listening to, you know, hard rock, heavy metal, and whatnot. I'm a huge fan of all sorts of like acoustic music. I am a huge freak out fan of like the 70s. Like, and I mean, from the Bee Gees to all kinds of disco stuff. You know? Like, I mean, even like obscure stuff, like stuff like the Atlanta Rhythm Section, Looking Glass. Like, I mean, I'm just a huge fan, you know? So I just love the music that I love, you know? And I've always told fans, like, don't let anybody make you feel bad about the music that you like, because if you're listening to their music, well, where's the enjoyment you get out of it? You know, your heart knows better than your head does what it likes. So for me, it's about just kind of, you know, embracing it and just having the balls to say, screw you, man. I love this music.
Well, that's, for me, it's Queen. Queen is my all-time favorite band.
Queen's amazing.
Yeah.
And I got into Queen late, man. Yeah. I mean, like, because I was always like the more kind of vicious music, you know? And then a friend of mine, you know, played me like the first 4 albums, and I was like, this is genius. And that just kind of led me into everything, you know, Day at the Races, Night at the Opera.
Yeah.
I mean, all the great music.
Yeah. They're one of my favorite bands. But let's go back to something else here, because we can't probably get away with playing Queen or...
Oh, why not?
All right, have you got a Queen song you want to hear?
No.
Oh, okay.
But you know
I'm
what?
going to play disco on
you know,
Distortion.
screw your boundaries, you know?
All right, well, what have you got?
As I take more coffee, yes. I don't know, man. I mean, the only thing that's really popping in my head is Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction right now, which I don't even know if you have.
I will find it.
Prime Mover.
I'll find it.
You find it? All right. You do
Find it. I will
find
play it.
You'll play it.
All right, it's
There you
Distortion on Triple M. Well, there's one I'd never actually heard before. Zodiac Mind Warp and the Love Reaction. The song's called Prime Mover. That was the choice of Corey Taylor. Mate, nice one. I appreciate you bringing some different flavours to the show. It is your show. You are doing a whole lot tonight, tunes-wise. Tell me about, because I've never been to Iowa.
Okay.
I've been to a few places in the States.
All right.
But Iowa, what was that live music scene like when you were younger? Was it thriving?
Wasn't great. Yeah, no.
Because to me, when you say Iowa, I go, what's in Iowa?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
not a lot.
Not
you
a
know?
lot.
We were kind of the scene, you know? I mean, the thing that people don't understand about being in the Des Moines scene, not just the Iowa scene, but the Des Moines scene, was for the longest time you had to play covers. I mean, no bar would book you unless you could play 3 hours of music that people were going to listen to. So, I mean, that's how I cut my teeth, man. You know, like we did 3 hours of a mixture of covers and originals with Stone Sour. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until the late 90s where, you know, we kind of started establishing clubs where you could play nothing but originals, that we could actually really start kind of promoting the fact that we could write songs, you know? So, I mean, from 92 until probably 96, it was kind of a pain in the ass, you know? And then the bands that were playing originals, they were playing college parties, and you didn't really get paid doing that, you know? So, I mean, I had to take time off work to be able to play these gigs, so I had to be able to make money at it to pay my bills and whatnot, you know? Even though I was living in a squat with like 7 other people, it sucked. You had to be able to contribute, you know? So there really wasn't a scene until Stone Sour and Slipknot started getting really serious, you know, and people started kind of flying in to see us and whatnot. And then when Stone Sour went away for a while and I joined Slipknot full time, that's when it started getting really, really serious. The scene now is it's not much different, but at the same time, I mean, it's, you know, it's better than it was, and there's definitely more places to play, which would have been nice when I was 21 years old.
Yeah. Do you get a bit of a hero's welcome when you boys go back there?
No. God, no.
No special days, no.
Hell no. The closest we got was the mayor of Des Moines tried to give us the key to the city, and I kind of told him where to stick it. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
No. God, I would have to kick my own ass, you know? No, I mean, we've obviously we got a lot of fans back there, but there's also that, you know, kind of what in the scene.
Oh,
you know?
really?
Oh, yeah, dude. And it's been like that, honestly, since 99.
Wow.
And yeah, I mean, a lot of people thought that we were just going to bring the golden goose back to Des Moines, and it's like, no, it doesn't work that way.
No.
We got in. You got to earn your own place in. It's not up to us to get you a spot, and I think that pissed a lot of people off, you know. But at the same time, we did the work.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we busted our ass for how many years, and finally got out there and started doing our thing. You know, I mean, we knew that just getting signed, that wasn't the answer. It was the first step towards being able to work, you know,
and get paid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where a lot of those bands don't get it. They think getting signed is the key, and it's not. So it is what it is.
In fact, you'd probably have to work harder than not being signed.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's your opportunity, basically. You know, you get signed, that's your opportunity to make it. You know, or at least that's the way it used to be. It's kind of homogenized now.
It's a little bit more disposable these days, unfortunately.
Exactly.
All right, another song, please, sir.
What about well, it's hard rock, heavy metal, right?
Yeah.
Probably couldn't get away with The Damned or anything
Why
like
not?
that. Yeah, you sure? Yeah?
Why not?
Yeah. All right, play Neat off the first album.
Yeah?
Go. Absolutely.
Distortion, Triple M. It has now come to that part of the show, Corey, where we need to talk about your music, in particular the brand new album. What is the one track off House of Golden Bones Part 2 that people need to really look out for? What's that one track? Apart from Do Me a Favor, which we're going to get to, what's that song?
That's a great question, man. There's a handful of them on there that are really, really good.
Yeah, because you've got the Floydy kind of morose foreboding tunes,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
all of a sudden they explode, and
Yeah.
then you've got others that are just flat to the wall.
There's a lot of songs on there that are very, very intricate. It's probably some of the most complex we've ever written.
Is it possible to pinpoint songs though, because they do all kind of flow one into the other, and they tell
There's
a
a
story?
few, yeah. I mean, talking about "Do Me a Favor," "Do Me a Favor" is the middle bit in what we've been calling the trilogy, which is 3 songs that flow right into one another. "Blue Smoke," which is very Pink Floyd-esque, is kind of what I've been calling the human's lament, where he finds himself in the House of Golden Bones, and the conflagration is about to start. So this is him reflecting on what he was, figuring out what he needs to do for to kind of make that decision. And then "Do Me a Favor," it flows right into "Do Me a Favor." And that is Alan at his grimiest and best and most dark, basically. Just basically telling him he's just being snarky, really. He's just like, do me a favor, knock it off. Are you serious? You know what the obvious choice is, And then the third bit of that is a song called "The Conflagration," which is Peckinpah coming back in and basically saying, look, it's your choice. No matter what you do, it's your choice. It doesn't matter to me, and it shouldn't matter to him what your choice is, but you need to decide, And that rolls beautifully into what is the last track, which is the title track,
House of Golden Bones, which is an absolute ball terror to finish with as well.
It's a good one.
Well, here's what I reckon we do. We should play those 4 back to back, no interruptions, so people get the idea of how it all sounds. So "Blue Smoke," "Do Me a Favor," "The Conflagration," and then "House of Golden Bones." So sit back and enjoy Distortion, Triple M. The last 4 songs of House of Golden Bones Part 2, which is available now, and I suggest you get it. It is bloody fantastic. We heard "Blue Smoke," "Do Me a Favor," "The Conflagration," and then the last track, "The House of Golden Bones." Corey Taylor from Stone Sour is here. He's been picking all the tunes. Back in the day, you said you've given up drinking, and you have done for a while now.
Oh,
So firstly, I'll ask you, what was that decision? Why did you decide I've had enough?
I'd been kind of kicking that for a while anyway. I first quit drinking in 2003, and then I was not sober, but just not drinking for about 3 years.
So it's not that you found that you had a problem with it. You just decided you didn't want to drink anymore.
I had some issues. Let's
Okay.
put it that way.
Okay.
And when you put issues together with booze, there's nothing good's gonna come from it.
Not
I know
usually.
everybody loves to romanticize it, and it's such a crock. It's such a cliche too. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to quit, is because I didn't want to be a cliche. I didn't want to be that quote unquote rock star. It was like, oh, he's brilliant, but he's a mess. Oh, he's a genius, but watch out. It's so lame, and it's so freaking tired. I mean, my whole thing in life has been dedicated to kind of getting to the point where I represent a different end of that spectrum. I almost want to be the antithesis of that. My whole thing has always been, there is room in every walk of life to be a gentleman. And I don't care who you are. Everybody has their moments of being an a-hole. That's fine. Everybody gets tired. Everybody gets burnt. But at the same time, if you can't even make the effort, you're dead to me, because I have no tolerance for that anymore. I see these guys walking around. They think their leavings don't stink. And
You can say your shit don't stink.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Your shit doesn't stink. I'm so used to censoring myself.
This is Australia. We're pretty
Plus,
loose.
I'm pretty good at coming up with similes and metaphors.
You
my
are very
friend.
good at it, in
Thank
fact.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I'm over it, and I struggled with that for a long time. I was like, well, what's left? If I don't want to be that, then what's left? And I started drinking again for a little bit, and then finally, about 3 years ago, I just said, every problem I have, I can honestly trace back to booze. Every issue, every argument, every crappy bit of behavior, every every bad thing I could trace back to it, and I knew that's not what I wanted to be. So I just boom, done. And
Cold
that was it.
turkey.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no program, no nothing. I knew what I needed, and I knew what my family needed, and I knew what my friends needed, and I knew what my band needed. So it was just as simple as that.
There is something refreshing about waking up clear-headed.
Oh, tell me, and let me tell you something. I get so much more work done.
Yeah, you would.
It's amazing.
Now it's just about frothy coffee.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, coffee and cigarettes. That's about all I have left in life, and honestly, cigarettes will be done by this year.
Wow.
I'm probably
Making a statement.
Yeah, I'm really trying to let go of all that crap. So
Good on you.
yeah.
It must be hard. I'm not a smoker, so I don't know, but
It's it's tough. I mean, I have moments where it's like, okay, I'm getting there. I only have like maybe 8 cigarettes a day, which is huge for me because I'm a pack and a half guy. So I'm like,
okay.
Ugh. But but then there are days where it's just like, oh, screw this, and I'll just chain smoke them right up until I get on the plane. It's so gnarly.
all right, let's go with another song here. You know what? We digressed completely there, and I was going to talk about something else, but it doesn't matter.
Okay,
I
good.
like it. But what do you want to pick out now?
No, I
Don't know if I have that.
no. Really?
I
You can't play by that Swedish supergroup. Let's go. Let's do. You know what? Let's do Anthrax. Let's do something off the new or the last Anthrax. Excuse me, because I know they have a new one coming out soon-ish.
Which one? What do you mean? I just spoke to the guys the other day. They got another one after worship music.
Well, they're working on new music right now.
Yeah.
So, well,
hang on. Are you saying you've heard something?
Maybe not. Maybe I have. Maybe I didn't give.
minute.
I'm not giving an exclusive.
All right.
Not right now. Let's do "Fight 'Em Till You Can't."
Yeah,
That's a
great
great
song.
song. Great song.
Corey Taylor picking the tunes here in Distortion, Triple M.
City authorities in your area have reported that the
Corey Taylor has been choosing all the tunes. He's from Slipknot and Stone Sour, whose new album, House of Gold and Bones Part 2, is out now, and I suggest you go and get it because it's bloody fantastic. Let's go back to Corey now, and let's get another quick song on here. What do you want to hear?
Let's play Round and Round by Rat.
Got it. Let's do it. You are cranking out some good tunes tonight, my friend. Corey Taylor is picking all of them here on Distortion on Triple M. That was Rat, Round and Round. Let's dive back in. Real quick one. What do you want? What else you want to hear?
Let's play Looks to Kill by Motley Crue.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Distortion on Triple M. Motley Crue, Looks That Kill, Distortion on Triple M, and my name is Higgo, but I'm joined by Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour. He's been choosing the tunes tonight, and you know what? I have complete faith in whatever you want to do here. What is another one we can play for you?
Ooh, good question. Let's go South of Heaven.
Slayer.
Yeah.
Have you caught him?
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Frightening.
So good.
We better turn this one up.
All right, then.
Slayer, South of Heaven on Distortion on Triple M. Corey Taylor from Slipknot and Stone Sour choosing all the music tonight. And unfortunately, we are just about out of time. But, mate, it has been fantastic to catch up with you. Thank you so much for doing this.
No worries, man. No worries.
And, people will be asking, even though you're here in the country now, when are you coming back just to do Stone Sour? Because I think you were going to do a big... You were hoping to do a
we
big
talked
show.
about that. Yeah. We're working on that right now. Obviously, 2014, probably the first half of that is going to be what we're calling the Victory Lap, which we had talked about,
Nice.
where we do 2 nights in one venue, and we do part 1 top to bottom and part 2 top to bottom the next night, and make it very theatrical, make it very kind of stage driven, like some video, some craziness, but a good balance of that with our high live intensity, so I'm mapping that out as we speak. Actually, I was working on that yesterday going, how the hell are we going to do this? So I'm working on that right now, and I know that we're going to definitely at least try to get down here and hit some of the theaters down here, because we don't want arenas. We want theaters.
Cool.
We want the intimacy of the show, but we, at the same time, the stage has to be a certain size if we're going to do this right.
Course.
So, it's logistics, it's being pragmatic about it, but at the same time, it's like shooting for the moon. So it's going to be the biggest thing that we've ever done. So hopefully, next year, beginning of next year, maybe we'll definitely at least try to get down here and hit at least 3 or 4 major cities.
That would be great. Is there room for a movie off House of Golden Bones?
I'm working on that right now.
Excellent.
I'm actually, I mean,
because you and Clan have got the production
we
company.
have Living Breathing Films.
Yep.
And my goal is between the short story that I wrote, the CDs, Jesus, and the comics that are coming out in April. Well, that start coming up in April. Between those 3 factors, I should be able to fashion 2 awesome scripts.
Where do you get the time?
Well, I mean, usually I have a lot more time, but I'm here talking to you.
Sorry.
But no, I mean, that's my end game is 2 movies, I know the people I want to work with. I know the way I want to do it, and I'm not going to let anybody else dictate it, So I'm going to keep as much creative control as I can and really try to make something fantastic for the fans.
Well, if you find a part for a middle-aged, fat Australian radio announcer, give me a yell.
I mean, as luck would have it.
I knew it. I knew my time would come.
I'm going to make you a star, son.
Outstanding.